What we basically do is every time a guy's hit now in game, we track where he's hit on his body.
What we've done is we've divided the body into different sections, and the more kind of hits that you take in that area,
we then take some kind of health points off of that body part. And the lower that body part gets, if he keeps getting hit on his leg, then there's a greater chance that he'll actually get an injury that kind of ties to that leg. So he can tear an ACL if he has a really bad leg at this point.
And you have to decide whether you're going to sit him out to let him regain health, or you're going to keep playing him and risk him getting injured again.
And you have to kind of track these body parts as you go along, you know, throughout the years that you kind of play with your players. It actually affects his overall rating too. So if you've got a guy like Ronnie Barber and he suffers a pretty severe concussion, he'll go from a 99 down to a 92 because the team now knows that there's a chance that the next time he gets hit, he could have another severe concussion. He could be out for his career.
Another thing that we wanted to put in too was kind of like a surprise thing. So if you're doing really well, you might get notification that, hey, your player broke his finger, you know, barbecuing in the backyard.
You have to keep an eye on that. And it's a big part of a coach's career, and keeping your players healthy will help you win, obviously.
We really wanted to go for the real depth that coaches have to deal with day in and day out.
All right, guys, what's going on? Smitty here. As you guys saw, the video was self-explanatory there. Now, this was done in NFL head coach, a game that didn't get that many sales. Not many people really played it to the full extent to, you know, really recall this. But I just came across this video, and looking at the physical impacts that I see happen throughout Madden, you know, with the real-time physics aspect of it, how, you know, running backs trip over their O-linemen, how O-linemen get folded up in plays, D-linemen, receivers, etc. How defenders collide into each other at times or what have you. Having this kind of system would go a mighty long way, and it would and you would be able to see an actual tail of the tape in terms of how things actually unfolded with these injuries. Versus, you know, how we see it in NBA 2K with that injury system. It's nice to see it, but the problem is there is no true tale behind how players got injured, because everything in the game is pretty much scripted. So it's more of a dice roll how it plays out. Whereas here, you have an organic element that comes into play along with the scripted physical sequences. Like, as you see in these two examples I'm going to show you here to close the video out with. First, you see Diggs, okay? The two defenders latch on. That's the scripted part. But what's unscripted is the impact of Tulloch coming in. Now, he lays the hit. Dynamically, he hits the, you know, looks like he hits the kneecap. Basically, yeah, like the kneecap of Diggs, but then he also hit Slay. So Diggs in this play, Diggs could be the receiver. He could be okay in this play, and Slay could take the, you know, the brutal end of it, and he could mess around and have an ACL tear, or he could have an upper thigh injury because of, you know, of his own teammate coming in trying to make the stop on the play. At the same time, Diggs could be the one hurt on that play, because once again, you know, that direct impact on the kneecap, or it could be how he folded up after, you know, in terms of how he went down on the play there. So this is what we're talking about, the organic element of this coming into play. And I'm talking about within CFM, obviously. I'm not talking about in Play Now having this in there, but like in CFM, this would be great to see, you know, in CFM. And I mean, you got to scout, you got to be smarter with your scouting, smarter with your coaching, smarter with your free agency decisions. And then on top of that, you're using your entire roster. You know what I mean? You're using more of your roster. You got to be smarter with your roster movements. And once again, look at the scripted sequence, and then you see Diggs come in. So you have the scripted element, and then you have the non-scripted element with Diggs coming in on this play. He comes in with a lot more speed, a lot more impactful force on the thigh of Wallace. Okay? And now in this instance here, he doesn't exactly hit his teammate, but he still could injure his own teammate on this play. And at the same time, you know, how much wear and tear is that going to be on Wallace due to that hit right there? Okay, so these are just elements. I would love to see this kind of dynamic come into the fold in Madden going forward. Introduce the system in like Madden 17, introduce it and then build upon it from there. Okay, so let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and I'll be back with more vids. Tune in every Thursday night for Sim Standard Radio, featuring myself, SimFBall Critic, and Azure Effect. The call-in number is listed there on screen, and the link to our show is in the description below.